Hey, we're back with the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Germany 1920 campaign. We're finishing up September. We had a battle. It was a convoy defense over here in the Baltic, I think it was, that saw some battlecruiser versus battlecruiser action. And we, we did okay, not as good as I thought we had in that battle. We sank a British battlecruiser, their first capital ship, loss of the war. But we lost a heavy, and we took severe damage to a couple of destroyers. The the net sum of that was that despite them losing a battlecruiser, we took enough losses and enough additional damage that the British still came out a little bit ahead in the victory points. And it was counted as a minor defeat, which was a bit of a surprise to me, to be honest. But proportionally, we did catch up a little bit. In that, at one point, the British had twice as many victory points, and we made a small gain on that overall. We're still running at a deficit, and what I've decided to do is I'm in kind of a mode now where I got a lot of better ships building, better battleships, better heavies, better lights. And we're running at a deficit that we can sustain for a little while, but not indefinitely. And the fleet that we have, trying hard to preserve it so that we don't get blockaded until these better ships come online next year without going bankrupt. And I do have some of these new ship builds suspended at the moment. The initial idea was to kind of stagger the entry into the fleet so as not to put a huge hit on our manpower. But I got to get these ships building. And with the current deficit, I don't really have room to do that. So what I'm going to do is the repair cost of these ships. We got a lot of ships in the yard. And that's a huge part of our budget issue. So in one sense, I'm going to be. I think I've already been kind of pretty cautious in some of these battles. I'm going to be even more so, to the extent that I may just run in some of them with these early ships. And the other thing I want to do is, the bigger the ship, the less it costs to repair relative to its normal maintenance costs. Compare the two battle cruisers, okay? We've got one operational and one repairing. Königsberg, currently under repair, is currently actually costing less per month by a hair than Star, which is operational, okay? So yeah, it costs a lot to repair Königsberg, but not any more than it would if she were operating anyway. And then for the heavies, it's a little bit more of a difference. 1.7 mil vice a little over 1.3. Proportionally higher for the lights, 1.3 to repair as opposed to about 850,000. Look at these destroyers though. It costs 3 times as much per month to repair these things as it does to operate them in being. So while the absolute number is lower, the relative number of a repairing destroyer vice an operating destroyer is enormous. And we're not getting a lot of utility out of these destroyers. And part of that is me losing track of what they're doing. But when they take a hit, it hurts bad. They haven't landed any torpedoes yet. All these ship classes are struggling, but the to the extent that we have done anything, it hasn't come from destroyers. Even though I feel like I need to preserve the existing fleet with their low tonnage, I am going to gamble that I don't need these destroyers, at least not for now. So what I'm going to do is I've been thinking about scrapping them, but I'm going to try something different. As these things come off of repair, when I want them again in the future, I'm going to want them pretty fast. I'm going to mothball these. I've never done that before. I'm kind of exploring a new mechanic. And that will cut down their cost, and it should make them ineligible to enter battles. And they won't cost much in mothball. They won't be available. They won't be active. But then later, when I decide, hey, do I want some destroyers? They'll be right there, and I won't have to build them for 7 months. Now, they'll come back with cadet crews. But then again, if I built new ones, they would too. Or, it would be the same as a new destroyer coming online. Their crew proficiency would be determined by whatever the average crew proficiency is in the crew pool. Either way. So I'm going to try to save some money there and put that money into continuing the construction of these remaining cruisers. Get them back in the pipeline. We'll get one going of each class for now. And then when these come off repair and get mothballed and cost only $100,000 a month instead of $1 million, then I'll bring those other ones online. Okay. On to October. No battles. You know what? I'm okay with that. For like a year, really. Some ships got repaired. Let's see, the British built a couple of destroyers. I completed repair of 2 cruisers, and our battle cruiser is back online, and another destroyer. Let's mothball that thing. They're still costing it. It may have been just better to scrap them. I don't know. I've never played with mothball before. Let's see what we think about it. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get these last 2 cruisers actually building instead of just ordered. No battles. I'm fine with that. Repaired 2 more destroyers that were about to mothball. Limburger's back into the fleet. And the Brits repaired the Grafton. And no ships currently under repair. And we've still got negative 2 million. Which we can sustain for a while. I'm going to let that ride at least for a couple of months. Interesting. So one of our battleships will fight for the first time, helped by a couple of heavy cruisers. Against 4 British cruisers plus a destroyer. Based on what we have seen to date, that looks like a lot of torpedoes. And I don't have a feel for... Let's take a look at our... Oh, I can't switch to look at the design. I suspect we would not be able to disengage, to withdraw. I will if it lets me. Nope. Gotta fight it. And Saxon is only, our battleships are only about 19 knots. We will not run away from these people. Individually, I'm not that scared. Collectively, I'm worried Saxon is going to just get smacked with a ton of torpedo spreads all at once. Nothing for it. Let's go ahead. I think. It's about to hang up on me? Nope. Okay. I know this. We want it to be a running fight. Okay, we want them behind us. Slow the closure rate. And get turned around all the way. Come on. It is possible that just because there's a battleship there, they might not want to engage, despite the fact that and what they're in screen mode. That's going to make them do all kinds of wacky maneuvering. Might not be too bad. Let's just see how they do in the screen mode for the time being. See how they act. When they plow right across your bows, what they do. Okay. This isn't so much. I mean, if I don't have to fight, I think I'm okay with that. In this fleet preservation mode I'm in. But the idea of turning away is really just to slow the closure rate, so that we have more time to shoot at them before they get to a good torpedo firing solution. And Limburg and how would that be pronounced in German? Michael? Anyway, Limburg and Michael managed not to run into each other. So they can stay in screen for now. They are chasing, and we've been spotted because the BB has a higher target signature. So they spot it before we spot them. That's some heavy cruiser 9-inch shells coming in. and unlike many battleships, it does have torpedoes. Could become significant at some point. So there's a heavy cruiser down this way, taking fire from over here too. It's probably that destroyer. Yep, there it is. Wouldn't mind disabling that little cuss here at the beginning. Let's see what we're dealing with here. That is the DD. What's this other thing? Yeah. I think that's their light cruiser. CAs are screening the battleship, turning back to draw fire and to shoot at our pursuers. Another reason I'm kind of just watching to see how they do in screen is that they're kind of more under AI control. I'm hoping that that means that they avoid torpedoes as well as the enemy AI do. Okay. I guess, here we go. This is a test. Lindbergh, gonna run away from those? No, you're gonna eat one, of course. Perfect. Saxon decided to put secondaries on the DD, but heavies on the light cruiser. I think I'm cool with that. See no reason to countermand. Oh, watch this. Okay. Are you gonna even try to avoid those? Really? No? There you go. So apparently, even when you put them in semi-AI control in screen mode, they don't your green ships don't bother it. That was an expensive experiment here. Go steady. Go this way. You can. I think Lindbergh may just be lost. Pretty expensive place. Oh, okay. Saxon. Come left. Yeesh. Nomad has fired torpedoes, however, I think it was at the heavy cruisers, and she is out. She's really not any threat anymore. Let's get all guns firing at Falmouth. Pretty miserable accuracy, 1.6 on the 15 inchers at 6 kilometers. It's pretty dreadful. Lindbergh. The destroyer isn't very scary. Head off this way. Retreat as best you can. Yep. Keep shooting at Falmouth. slow down enough to get an idea. Okay, we've got buff from tech and tower. And that shows right there why I don't like using triples in 1920. 20% accuracy nerf for using triple turrets. In the 1930s era, that modifier goes down. It's only a 5% nerf. That's tolerable. 20%, that's too much. And it's exactly why I didn't put triples on any of our new classes. Minus 9.6% stability from the hull in tower. I don't know why tower shows up in two different categories. Various nerfs for weather and wind conditions. They're dealing with the same thing. Minus 40% for the target speed. 2.3% now. Oh, the destroyer got pretty close. Doesn't have any torpedoes. However, I'm giving him some secondary load. Falmouth is just pickled off torpedoes. Let's do a hard left. So they're going to be aiming over here. Nope, there they are. The turn isn't going to do it. I just got to try to straighten up and let them pass the other side if I possibly can. Turn, 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 turn. Straighten up. Straighten up more. Kill him. Whew, that was lucky. Okay. Couldn't have caught him any earlier. I just happened to look at Falmouth at just the right... Oh, she's turning. She's going to shoot from the other side. Best bet may be just to stay. Oh, I don't know about this. She's going to take at least one. I don't see anything. Slip on past. Nope, there's one. Okay, well, may as well go this way now. Oh, just took another one. She can survive that, but with that engine damage, all those heavy cruisers are going to be able to catch up now. Still got another reload. Keep doing what you're doing, Lindbergh. Even though you're probably going to die from it. Good angle. Keep firing AP. Works. Same for Saxon. Question is, will Saxon be able to pump this water out and restore some propulsion? She won't from this from these two compartments, but I can't tell if these are red or green or yellow. I don't see water going down. Looks like they're red. Falmouth is going to be able to shoot those torpedoes again. Has she done? She hasn't yet. She's not done reloading. We need a 15-inch ship-killing blow here. Okay, well, Falmouth is buggering off. Nope, she just fired some. I don't know if Saxon cannot evade. Her rudder's out. She's slow speed. My only hope is that they catch me in this gap right here. This first one's going to get me. No two ways about it. Can you avoid the second one? Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, that one missed. Oh my goodness. Alright, Falmouth is done. I don't see any way that we should continue this against the unseen heavy cruisers. Let's get out. It's another defeat. We lost a heavy cruiser. I think. Nope. Victory. We came out a little bit ahead on that one. It's an expensive one. Saxon is going to be in the yard for quite a while. So will Lindbergh. We've lost another heavy cruiser. This is kind of bad news for the blockade equation, but it's not terrible for victory points. We made a 700-point gain here. Okay, the total fleet is down to 14 ships. 18 if you count the four mothballed destroyers. 12 ships actually active. We have to be dangerously close to a blockade. And we're still 5 months away from any new ships entering the fleet. And that's December. We are done with 1920. Hopefully 1921 starts to go a little better. But that'll do it for now. We'll see. We'll go into 1921 in the next episode.